first graders, this lesson is on using a table of contents from the text, The Light Around Us. So we're going to look at the table of contents, and I'm going to ask some questions to get you thinking about how you can use the table of contents to help you when you're looking for specific information in the text. And then you have a worksheet from your comprehension packet that you're going to do. Well, that looks like this. It's page 4. We're not going to do all of this together, but I'll show you the first 2 and how you can use the table of contents to help you answer the questions. Okay, but first I'm going to ask you some questions that are not on this sheet to get you thinking about how this important feature can help you when you're reading information texts. Okay, so the first text evidence question that I'm going to ask you is, what does the table of contents in The Light Around Us tell us? You always want to take a look at the table of contents before you read an information book to preview it and think about what the book is going to teach you. So we can see that the table of contents has lots of different parts. It has a words to think about, an introduction. It looks like there are 3 chapters in this book about seeing objects, how light moves, and exploring light. There is a conclusion, and then a glossary and index. And it tells me the pages that I can go to if I wanted to go straight to a page to find some information. Okay, so from this table of contents, I can tell that this text is going to teach me about light, how light moves, how we see objects, and how we can explore light. It's also going to have some important words for me to learn in the text as well. Our second text evidence question is, what if I wanted to find the definition of a word, where would I look? Now think about, how can you use the table of contents to figure out the definition of a book? Which part of the book is going to teach me that? Words to think about might be one place to look. Introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, conclusion, glossary. Oh, a glossary, I know, is a feature of nonfiction text that tells words and their meanings. So I might check the glossary on page 16. Let's go to page 16 and see if we can find it. Here's the glossary, and that tells me definitions of words and what they mean. Also, you guys, the words are bold in the glossary. They're also bold in the text. So if you found a word you didn't know that was bold, like shadow, you can turn back to the glossary and find the word shadow and see that it is a dark area formed when light is blocked. Okay, our last text evidence question that we're going to look at using the table of contents is, where in the book could we read about experiments that have to do with light? If we wanted to read about experiments, what part of the text do we need to look at? Let's look again at the different parts of this book. Table of contents, words to think about, introduction, seeing objects, how light moves, exploring light, conclusion, and glossary and index. Let's think about what words there remind us about experiments. I think the chapter 3, Exploring Light, might teach us about experiments, because exploring and experiments kind of go together. Let's look and see. Exploring Light was on page 12. And now that I look back at this page, I remember that it was telling me to get these objects and find out how much light passes through them. So we were right. The Chapter 3, Exploring Light, is teaching us about experiments. Okay, now we are going to look at our worksheet about table of contents, and we'll do a couple of those together, and then you can finish the rest on your own. And the goal of this lesson, you guys, is to teach you that you should always use the table of contents when you're reading information books. It helps you understand and find information that you might be looking for. So let's take a look at our worksheet. This is called Table of Contents. And this is just a picture of the table of contents from the text that we just read. Okay, it's the same thing. So this is just reminding us what a table of contents is. Our directions are to use the table of contents to answer the following questions. What page does the introduction begin on? Okay, find introduction, follow it along. Page 4. And you can just write that in there. Page 4. Question number 2, where can we read about light movement? Look for a chapter that talks about how light moves. Oh, chapter 2, how light moves. And this asks, where can we read about it? So that is looking for the name of the chapter. So here we're going to write chapter 2. Okay, I think you can answer the next 3 questions all on your own. Good luck. I'll see you next time.